Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ChasePacks. My name is Chase. In today's video, we're doing something a little different than we normally do. We are going to be talking about my Pokemon card business. Website officially went live about little over 2 days ago now. So I wanted to get into kind of everything that goes into starting one, what it takes, what you need to do, what you should do, what you don't have to do, but you probably should do. So we'll start with that. I will definitely get into kind of just my story, to be honest. This is more of like, I've put out videos on this channel before, obviously, and none of them have been about a Pokemon card business. But the whole origination of this channel was because eventually I did want to turn this hobby into a job, a career, whatever you want to call it. So how I want to start is mainly like how I got here, why I'm deciding to do this, all the steps it took to get to this point to where you can publish a website and purchase product and all the good stuff. So how do I want to start? This video will be a little bit about not necessarily my background, but how it all started and why I decided to take the steps I took and in the order that I took them. So let's just start at the beginning. So I've been enjoying Pokemon for a long time now. Pretty much in the tail end of Sword and Shield. I was in, but not fully in. And then Scarlet and Violet hit. And then I really started picking my interest back up in Pokemon and really investing my time, my money. I mean, not a ton of money. I'm not a investor like some of the channels out there who are putting thousands of dollars a month into Pokemon. I'm just not doing that. And a lot of that reason is because I wanted to do this. I wanted to start a Pokemon card business. So I decided, I'm like, okay, I have hobbies. And at one point I was like, okay, you put a lot of time into Pokemon. You do. So why don't you record yourself and just document your journey through it? So I started to consider that. I started to start doing that. And then I thought, okay, if you're going to spend all this time on a hobby and you're going to take all this brain power, energy, and I guess just time, then why don't you try to make something of it other than just a hobby? So that's my initial thought that started me with, let's start a business out of this, right? And there are a lot of channels out there who talk about their card businesses, Danny Fanta, Poke-E, Pokemart USA, like all these people. So I start seeing a little bit of that content and I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. I mean, obviously those three I just mentioned are very, very successful businesses and YouTube channels. So it sparked my interest. I was already committed to starting a YouTube channel and starting a Pokemon card business, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I've always been into collecting sealed product. I've always thought that I always thought it was the coolest thing ever, seeing somebody with like a first edition Gym Heroes box, or pick your box, pick your nostalgic, cool old box. I always thought that was very cool. I thought it was just as cool as the singles, but obviously singles are what a lot of people love in this hobby too. The cards themselves. So I was into that as well. So I thought, okay, what would I rather do? Would I rather make plays on singles, buy collections of singles, sell those? I wasn't super interested in being kind of a name and number on TCG Player. No offense to anybody out here who does it. I know there's very, very successful stores out there. It's just not what I wanted to do. I wanted to have my own thing. And I knew that the more I researched and the more I did my own collecting, my own investing, and my own just putting my own time into the hobby, I knew I wanted to do sealed product. Was like what interested me. So I decided I'm going to start a store. I'm going to start my own store, my own website, and I'm going to do sealed product. That's what I want to sell on my website. So I started there, and then it's pretty common sense, I would say, that if you have your own website and nobody knows who the hell you are, nobody's going to come to your website. Eventually, you could probably make that work. There are stores out there who don't do a ton of YouTube videos or social media really in general and get plenty of business. So I'm well aware of that. But I think it's pretty important for people to see who you are, know your backstory, know where you came from, for them to be able to trust you and then want to go to your website and purchase your products. So I started my YouTube channel. It started off originally as me just talking about and recording myself looking at the market, singles, boxes, again, mainly the market, talking about news, stuff I'm already going to do anyway. But I decided I'm going to record this and I'm going to um, put it out there and see how it goes. Knowing in the back of my head, the end goal for me was to grow, what do you want to call it, a following, subscribers, people who are interested in what I'm doing and could potentially be customers for my store in the future. That was always the main goal. And I thought for a while, I was like, oh, I'm going to wait till I get this number of subscribers or this number of views before I start my store. So I waited actually a long time to do that. And then I thought, how long are you going to wait? Why don't you just, honestly, why don't you just start? Because, I'm guessing a lot of you have learned in life that once you just start doing something, that's when you actually start learning things. So I finally just told myself, stop waiting and just do. So as the months have went on before this video, I've done a lot to build up to the point where I could publish a website, purchase product, and list it on there. So I kind of want to run through that. That was my attempt to give you my backstory on how this all started. But in the second half or the latter half of this video, I wanted to go through kind of everything I've done from the beginning until today when the website is published and there's products on the website. By the way, I'm terrible at shouting myself out. ChasePacksTCG.com is the website. But so I'll go where I first started. The first thing I started doing was I created an LLC. The sole proprietor direction was never something that I even considered, to be honest. I thought, this is a business. I'm going to have my own website. I'm going to do everything as legit as I can. So I started there, got my LLC, did it myself. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, because if for some reason you screw something up with creating your LLC, I wouldn't want that you to be like, hey, dude told me to do it. It was easy. All I'm saying is, if you take a little bit of time, you can create your own LLC. You don't have to pay somebody to create it. If you just are diligent about what you're doing, it's not that hard. So I know people charge a lot of money to start people's LLCs. I don't know if it's necessary. That's a little side tangent, but anyway. So got the LLC, got my paperwork, a county vendor's license, so you're tax exempt. Some people you buy from, they require that. And then, get your EIN number, register with the state for taxes. And one thing I learned doing all this stuff, as you move forward trying to create your business and stuff, you're going to learn, if you didn't already know a lot about taxes, you're going to learn a lot about taxes. Because some people, I've never had an LLC before, and I never had to register for the state with any kind of business before. So again, if you don't know nothing about taxes, you're going to learn a lot about taxes going through all this. So that's where I started. LLC, get your EIN number, get your county vendor's license. That name will change depending on what state you're in, but I'm in Ohio. So in Ohio, it's a county vendor's license. And again, register with the state for taxes. So started off with all that. If you see me glancing down, it's because I got some notes, because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and I just kind of threw it all on the paper so I can glance down and go through it all. So I knew I wanted to build a website. So I was torn between Shopify and Wix. And I think I was actually watching a Pokémon video, and he suggested Wix. And why he suggested Wix is because Shopify tends to shut down shops more often. And they're looking, essentially they're making sure you're selling legitimate products. So that was enough for me to go, okay, I'm just going to pick Wix then. Apparently Shopify has better features. That's what I hear. I don't know. I've never had a Shopify site. So, but regardless, I started a Wix website, built it myself, and it took a while. but it wasn't bad, and it doesn't look great, but it doesn't look absolutely terrible. Actually, later on in the video, I'll go onto the website just so you can see how mediocre it is. But it's functional, and it doesn't look like you're going to get ripped off, really. At least in my opinion. You have to let me know in the comments. But on that note, I did want to say something about how when you start, depending on your personality, like my personality was, oh, I'm not going to start a YouTube channel, because if you go back in my previous videos, I was just like in a corner in my house, because like this room I'm in now was filled with like totes and stuff, because we have like a bunch of storage and the basement's full. So we got a lot of stuff. We're like in between houses right now. So, but anyway, so I was like, I'm not going to start the YouTube channel until I get like a nice setup and all that stuff. So I put off the YouTube channel for like 3 months, and I was like, okay, I have to start this. So start it. But what I'm trying to get at is, don't wait for things to be perfect for you to start something. Because for me, I worked on my website for like 2 weeks, and I didn't really change much in like the last 4 days, but I kept like, tinkering with it, trying to make it perfect. Just make it functional, make it look decent, and move on. Move on to the next thing. Not everything has to be perfect. If you're a perfectionist, sometimes, like, again, you just have to start it and move on, and you can figure out the rest as you go. That's actually great advice, I think, for a lot of people out there who are like me. You think everything needs to be perfectly aligned before you start, but in reality, just start, and you're going to learn a lot more than you would have if you just kept waiting to start, right? So the website wasn't bad. Got the website done, and then where did we go from there? I focused on content after that. So I got the LLC, got all my registered with the state, EIN, built the website. And then at that point is when I started my YouTube channel, started content. And man, if you've never made content on YouTube, that's another thing where you're just going to learn so much. I'll say this is a crazy story. Excuse me. So I made like 20 videos in a row. Literally 20 YouTube videos in a row. They were probably like anywhere from like 8 to 15 minutes a piece. And these are my first 20 YouTube videos. And I was like nervous as hell. I could not believe how awkward I felt just looking at a camera and recording myself. You feel like an idiot, all these things, right? So I'm doing that. And then I have up the editing software I use is DaVinci Resolve. So I download DaVinci Resolve. I've never edited a video in my life. I've never been on camera in my life. Maybe one other time. I was like back in high school for sports or something. But so I'm editing these videos, and I'm, rendering them, uploading them to YouTube. And, they're not doing well, obviously. So I'm like, okay, obviously I'm a new channel and I kind of suck at this. And honestly, I still kind of suck at YouTube, but that's beside the point. So I'm like, man, this is like really weird. Like these are like, some got some decent views and some got like no views to like 2 views. And I was like, okay, interesting. So, and again, I've never edited a video in my life. So I go back and I'm investigating DaVinci Resolve. And then I see that I'm not rendering my entire timeline before I upload it to YouTube. So I'm uploading videos where in the middle of the video, I'm not kidding, where I screw something up, I go, cut. And I uploaded those to YouTube, 20 videos like that. So I guess the point I'm trying to tell you is sometimes maybe this is an argument you could say, maybe do a little bit more research into how to edit videos before you start throwing them up on YouTube. But honestly, I don't regret it. It's, again, just start and you're going to learn as you go. So content was crazy. It's still crazy for me. I still don't feel completely comfortable doing this. But I enjoy doing it. I think it's necessary for the business. And I'm going to do these things anyway. So I enjoy making these videos, and I'm somewhat decent about, uploading and scheduling my time making videos. So I'm a lot better about it now. But again, don't be scared. I uploaded 20 videos that weren't even fully edited with me going like cut in them and stuff. So it's, you're going to make mistakes is what I'm trying to say. But the content was interesting. I was trying to decide what avenue I wanted to take. I don't call myself an investor. I didn't call myself a collector. I knew in the back end, this all was supposed to be for my business, really. But I didn't start my business yet, because if nobody knows who you are, nobody's going to really probably come to your website. So dabbling in the content. Content was hard for me. It's still hard for me. I still feel like an imposter. I'm like, what am I doing making YouTube videos? Who am I? Like that kind of thing. But again, I enjoy doing it. So here we are. But where do I want to go from here? Content. We went through, talked about what we went through for the beginning with the LLC and all that stuff. I get finding a supplier, right? Getting on Instagram. Shout out Pokémon for letting everybody know how to get Japanese product. Because if I never heard that, honestly, I wouldn't really know what to do. So I know you can do through Facebook, and there's other avenues, but Instagram is a great way. So got on Instagram. What was that? I would say I did about 2 to 3 weeks of research of following people, messaging people, kind of seeing how the process went of acquiring product, Japanese booster boxes, which I actually didn't even state that at the beginning. The whole store is going to be Japanese booster boxes, at least for now. I have English product. I don't know if I want to necessarily sell English product yet on the site. That might come later on when the business is moving a little bit faster. I could buy collections because obviously I'm not getting distribution anytime soon. So yeah, distribution is like so far in the back of my mind that I don't even consider it. But collection buyouts and adding that to the site, that would potentially be a thing in the future, just not right now. But anyways, finding suppliers on Instagram, that's actually super easy. It's not that hard. Everybody's super nice on there generally, and they're pretty straightforward, and that's their business, right? So they have that all figured out. Like they almost everybody I messaged had an automatic response message, Discord, here's the price list, all those things. So about, what was it, 3 days ago, I got my boxes. Initially, I was going to start with 5 boxes. I was like, I'm just going to get 5 boxes because, when you're first starting a website, you're first starting a business, you have no idea how successful it's going to be and how fast product's going to move. So I was going to get 5 boxes, but the person I bought from, it was a minimum 10 box order. So I was like, okay, 10 box order, bought 10 boxes. 10 boxes, it was actually 5 boxes of Mega Dream. Well, I have them over here, I'll just show you. I had about 5 boxes of Mega Dream and then 5 boxes of Ninja Spinner. Reason being, for one, Mega Dream is probably the most popular Japanese set going right now. It is the high class set, right? So, and Ascended Heroes is crazy. But Ninja Spinner is the newest regular booster box out from Japan right now. So that's why I bought those 2. And I bought 5 and 5 because, initially what I really wanted to do was I wanted to buy I'm going to get probably 4 sets. I want to get Terrestrial Festival. I want to get Gloria Team Rocket. I want to get Mega Dream. I want to get Ninja Spinner. It'd be cool to get Shiny Treasures. But then I'm thinking, I can get 5 boxes a piece. And then I'm like, probably not the greatest idea considering that you've never made a sale on your website. So I X-nayed that real quick. So I decided, how about just 2 sets, get 2 different booster boxes, 10. That's the minimum order for this supplier. So that's what I did. So I got Mega Dream, Ninja Spinner up on the site right now. But yeah, that's how we got here. I was very, very nervous starting everything because building a website, learning how to use Wix, learning how to use a website in general. If you've never had a website, just learning the ins and outs, how to edit, how to add stock, how to add your prices, all these things, you learn that as you go. So I guess one thing that I learned from starting this Pokemon card business is that you learn a lot more than you think you're going to learn. The amount of stuff. Now, there's plenty of people out there who know plenty about taxes. I know enough. I did my own taxes for 5 or 6 years. This year is actually the first year in a very long time I haven't done my own taxes. But the stuff you learn creating an LLC and creating a business tax-wise is surprising. And then again, creating your own business, learning the ins and outs of your website, the business side of the hobby is a lot different than just accumulating boxes and cards, right? You're dealing with, my store is business to consumer. So, and then, the people I buy from is obviously business to business. So there's a lot to learn once you start all this. And I was kind of surprised how long it took. Like, by the time I started my LLC and, registered with the state, all these things, built the website, researched suppliers, got the suppliers, acquired supplies, boxes. By the way, I want to say this now. You guys let me know. I got on Uline and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get on Uline. This will be the cheapest way to get boxes. Amazon. I got the same exact boxes. The only thing I could think about that could be different why the price between Uline and Amazon was for these 6x6x2s to fit these Japanese boxes was that maybe Uline's boxes are like better quality. I don't know. I've never bought from Uline, but it was significantly cheaper to get these boxes off of Amazon. Bubble wrap, all that stuff. You got to price it in. Tape. You got to get a thermal label printer. Oh, and another thing, getting a Shippo account so you can get discounted prices on shipping. All these things that you have to learn. It is a lot. But I mean, again, the only way you're going to learn these things is if you do these things, right? So that's I guess a key takeaway from this video. Not that there's some crazy underlying message I'm trying to send with this video, but just starting the YouTube channel, just starting your business, just getting the steps, just taking that first step to creating your website, or, I mean, even if you're not creating your website, building your eBay store, whatever it might be, you just got to do it, because you could research for hours, which I did. I researched for months, actually, all these things on the business side. And I would say I learned more in 2 weeks of just doing things than I did in all those months of researching. So yeah, I guess just do it would be the message for that. But what else? Email lists, getting an email list. That was interesting. I wasn't sure how to, I like Wix has its own like email list, but I wanted like a third party that you could attach to Wix. I think I'm trying to remember the name of the email. What is it, like Calvio or something like that I set up? I haven't even fully set it up yet because I've been busy trying to acquire these, load them up to the website, make sure the website's functioning properly. Doing all the SEO, the search engine optimization for your website is time consuming. There's a lot that goes into it. I think even now still, like, my website doesn't pop up through Bing because I didn't index it in time. Like, I indexed it like 2 days, or what was it? It might have been, yeah, yesterday I indexed it and it still doesn't pop up. Like, my contact page popped up. There's a lot that goes into it, surprisingly. But I guess this video was just to kind of go through my steps and my thought process on how I got to today. The website was published last night. I uploaded the stock, changed the inventory, changed all the prices, all these things, and put it on the website. So I was like, okay, I guess we're going to do a Pokemon card business video for the first time. So, and in the future, I'm going to continue to do videos that I've been doing, because I'm going to do those anyway, like check up on the market, Pokemon news, all those things. But in the future on this channel, there will be these type of Pokemon card business videos where I'll talk about my, I can't think of a better word than journey through all this. And here's the thing, I'm not here to teach you anything because I'm not doing it at a high level at all. Again, the website was published 2 days ago. So this will be more of like kind of a follow along, join the journey type thing with the business. And when I do learn things, like the SEO on Wix, it's pretty self-explanatory. It tells you, but if you don't actually investigate the website and then you're wondering why your site's not popping up on Bing, it's like, oh, because you didn't index it through the SEO through Wix and things like that you wouldn't know. So things that I screw up and I learn, we'll make videos about that. We'll go through the progression of the business, how things are going, all those things. So follow along if you guys are into that. You can see all my failures and all my successes as we go. I'm trying to think if I want to throw anything else on the end of this. ChasePacksTCG.com. That's the website, guys. It is live. It is official. Again, 10 boxes, 5 Mega Dream, 5 Ninja Spinners. We're starting off slow. I'm not going to bury myself in $5,000 worth of product that I can't sell. So we're just starting there. So if you guys are looking for some cards, check out the website. It would be greatly appreciated. I always appreciate you guys watching the videos. It means a lot to me. And it would mean a lot if you guys visited the website. If you do visit the website, comment down below. I think it works well, but I'd like to see if you're on mobile, if you're on desktop, the site does pop up immediately on Google. It's like through Microsoft Edge and Bing that it has to be kind of searched for. So be aware of that. But if you guys do visit the website, let me know how it works for you. Well, hell, let's bring it up. Why not? Let's bring it up. Okay, here's the website. If you can't tell, I like black. This is my emblem on YouTube. Just spelled out the name here, Japanese Pokemon cards. And obviously this is a brand new store. So this is the homepage. 2 boxes. I got the Japanese sets here. It's literally the same exact page. 2 different boxes, all that good stuff. So yeah, the website isn't crazy. Like obviously there's some insane websites out there that look great. I'm not going to pay somebody to make my website look like I'm a professional, because guess what? I'm not a professional. Maybe one day we'll build up to that point. But anyway, that's the website. Let me know if you do go on the website and you do navigate around, how's it work for you? Because any kind of feedback would be great. And also, if you guys own a Pokemon card store and you have honestly, any tips for me, I would appreciate it. Because again, this is not an educational Pokemon card business channel. This is me documenting my journey through it. I'll probably title this video Day 1 Pokemon card business, online Pokemon card business, etc. Something like that. So guys, I always appreciate you guys watching. Follow along for the journey. Again, we're going to continue with the old videos, keeping up with the news, keeping up with the market. But we're going to trickle in some Pokemon card business videos in there as well. So if you want to follow along with the journey, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're liked, hit all those buttons down there. It would be greatly appreciated, and we will catch you in the next one.